So is there an area of possibility within your niche that you've not thought about or you've not considered? Is there something that somebody else is doing that you think is a really good idea? Can you introduce a program with just all the things that you're repeating? So that's all our money coming in. Now, where is our money going out? Now, that is something that can be traumatic and was traumatic for me until I switched to Stripe because of the analytics. Now I know what to expect. What is your spend out? And I think you should include everything here as well as, like all of the business expenditure. So your courses and all of those things, but you can add stuff in there too. You have a car, you use the internet, telephone, all of the things that you use and the things that you're thinking. You can certainly put car expenses from, because you have to go and collect things at wholesalers or whatever. So what is it that, you're spending? What is your output?
Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice.
Hello and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How are you? How's it all going? What have you been up to? So today I thought I'd be really practical. So if you have got a pen and paper handy, that's great. Otherwise, go into the notes section of your phone and take notes. If you're in the car driving, don't do that. Just listen. And I hope that you get some really good ideas and some thoughts. Maybe come back and listen again. This won't be a long one. So what I want you to look at is we've had our first half of year, haven't we? So we do have figures. We've had our end of financial year. We've done our figures. We've seen what's happening for us. Now, what I would like you to do and what we mostly don't do is we don't think about what brings in the most money specifically in our business. So Stripe will tell you that. You can break that down if you've been breaking it down in your information as to what they're buying and what they're purchasing. Otherwise, you'll need to look through, because it might be that supplements are a huge part of your business, or it might be that it really is the one-to-one consults. We really need to think, where is the money coming in to our business and where are we not necessarily getting any money? And remember that, like a podcast, this costs me money, but ultimately, hopefully, it means that more people know who I am, more people listen, more people want to participate in my trainings, more people are interested in what I've got to say. And so ultimately, it enhances my brand. And I'm a talker and I enjoy it. That's just an aside. So, what brings in money? The podcast, I can't put a number on. I can't say this is what brings in this amount of money. But selling supplements to clients, selling programs to mentees, appointments, one-to-one appointments, and I've got all sorts of different business systems within my business. So I see clients, how much does that bring in? I sell them supplements, how much does that bring in? I sell them programs that I've created, how much does that bring in? I sell them hair testing, and not you're allowed to call it that, I call it hair analysis now. So I have these things. So how much do they bring in? And then of course I've got my group, so I've got the academy, so I have a membership. How much does it really bring in? I've got everybody in there. If you do any other course with me, then you get to be in the academy at no extra cost. So how many people have I actually got in there? And what other areas of possibility are there for you? Because, a membership for your clients might well be something that you're thinking about or haven't thought about, but I've just said it. And you might go, oh, actually that might work really well, because I want my clients, I work in, say, sports medicine or something. So my clients are all perhaps on, I have no idea, I don't work in sports medicine. So I'm just going to make something up. So maybe you want them all on magnesium. All right. So perhaps that's what you want, and you have special recipes because maybe you work in running, and so you have special running recipes, low residue running recipes. And so you want them to have access to those. So it might be that they have a membership that includes, say, one appointment pre-race, one appointment pro-race, post-race, because, I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along, they're all marathon runners. And so they need that extra support, because they totally need extra support, marathon runners. I don't think they do, but knowing a number of marathon runners, I feel they do, but not from me. So is there an area of possibility within your niche that you've not thought about or you've not considered? Is there something that somebody else is doing that you think is a really good idea? Can you introduce a program with just all the things that you're repeating? So that's all our money coming in. Now, where is our money going out? Now, that is something that can be traumatic, and was traumatic for me until I switched to Stripe. I do go on about Stripe, sorry, because of the analytics. Now I know what to expect. Fine, you don't get money for 3 days or whatever, but I don't mind that. I had to give a refund to somebody the other day, so I gave her a refund. So the money had to be in Stripe to give a refund. Now, and that was because I messed it up, not because anything was terrible, just because I messed it up. But what is your spend out? And I think you should include everything here, as well as, like all of the business expenditure, so your courses and all of those things. But you can add stuff in there too. You have a car, you use the internet, telephone, all of the things that you use, and the things that you're thinking, you might not put your mortgage in there because your mortgage is your mortgage, but you can certainly put car expenses from, because you have to go and collect things at wholesalers or whatever. So what is it that, you're spending? What is your output? And then once you've looked at all of your areas of possibility, the money coming in, the money going out, you might actually spot some gaps in the market that you can think, actually, I could do something there. If I did this environmental course, if I did Geraldine's pediatric course, if I did Geraldine's coaching course, I could then create a program with that information, and I can launch that to my clients. So that can be going on along the side. And when am I going to launch these things? When have I got time? Because if we look about when we've got our money coming into our business, we might discover a bit of a dead spot. So I talked about July a few podcasts ago, and that's the time that you could actually be creating, because it's going to be slower. So that's like, oh good, I've got creation time. Then I'm going to take a holiday myself, and I'm going to sit in my office and I'm going to create. I'm going to create whatever it is I need to create. I'm going to give myself a couple of work days when I would normally be seeing clients and I've only got one booked in, and I'm going to create what I see as a gap in my market. So I think that there is a ton of space in there for programs with our clients. Many of you have heard about the fact that the program that I wrote from start to finish, I never sold. All right, never sold it. I created it start to finish. Absolutely everything's done in it. I've used parts of it, like I've used the meditations out of it, but I've never sold it as a program, even though I created the whole thing from start to finish. Because I was on a course and it was like, you have to do the whole thing and get on and do it. So I did it. Whereas the programs prior to that, I'd pretty much winged them. I'd had the first session completed, and there were environmental ones and lifestyle ones. And so I had the first session completed. So it was just a case of selling the first session and knowing my client, and then creating for their second, third, and fourth. And I normally did them over a month. The weight loss one, which I've talked about a lot, my Weight Loss Thursday, was purely a spur of the moment program. A lady walked in and she told me on approach, she said she really wanted to lose weight. And I said, oh, well, I've got Weight Loss Thursday. We can talk about that next time I see you. She said, no, let's just do that now. What is that? Like, okay, what's going to happen is, and I had to make it up on the fly. And it's been my most successful program ever, as I made it up on the fly. But that's me. So, but I knew what I was going to put in it. It wasn't like I didn't know. It wasn't like I didn't have that knowledge or that background. It was just a case of creating the product that fitted the need. So within your niche, where is the need? What is that need? And how can you gain from that need to create something that's going to support you with those clients, all right? Because if you're maybe in the acne niche, then you could write a short ebook on acne. You could be selling that as a side, as something on the side. You could be selling a program for your acne clients, because there's lots of things with skin that people don't realize and that they need to know that we know. So there's lots of things that are sitting there that we just haven't thought about. And sometimes when we nut out our finances, strangely enough, when we look at those, we'll be able to look at where we sell the majority of our products, and that will trigger what we're repeating, what we're doing over and over, and that might trigger an idea of what can go into those gaps or how we can create more and launch more. So just a quickie today. I hope you've had an absolutely brilliant day, and I hope that this helps, and I hope that you will sit down and do what I've suggested and figure out some of those numbers, because then we can talk about goals. Maybe I'll talk about that on the next podcast, about setting those goals and creating what we need to create. So I hope you have an absolutely brilliant rest of day, and do let me know how you go. Do let me know if you've got any questions. Please give me a 5-star review if you've made it all the way to the end, and let me know how you're going, because I'd love to hear from you. All the best. Bye.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.